Hey, Justin here. Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're well. Just standing here with some paphiopedilums in the background. So they've been flowering for some time now. Got about half a dozen of them there in bloom at the moment. And yeah, let's take a look. So this one on the left here is Paphiopedilum lamellatum. Is that right? Paphiopedilum chamberlainianum, and it had the tag latifolium, but I posted it on Slipper Talk. It's a forum, an online forum of slipper enthusiasts, and got some really knowledgeable people on there, and they inform me that this is not latifolium but another one, whose name escapes me, so I'll look that up and put it on. So an incorrectly labelled paph, but a very nice one nonetheless, and this is a sequential bloomer. Yeah, it's really cool, and it's closely related to this one here, which supposedly was Victoria Mariae. I also posted this one and they said, no, that's not Victoria Mariae. Well, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but they said this is probably a hybrid, some kind of Pinocchio style of hybrid, but a Cochleopedilum hybrid nonetheless. So you can see the difference between those two, and in between we've got callosum, Paphiopedilum callosum. This is a lowland growing species from Thailand, warmer growing. The Cochleopedilums are a little bit cooler growing, I think, and yeah, give them a lot of moisture, and they'll stay in bloom for a long time. And this lovely one here, which I think I showed it before, but it's Delenatii hybrid. I think Delenatii bivenestum, the album version of both species crossed. Nice one. And back there, again, this is Drurii by Primulinum, I believe. A nice tall stem on that one. And then Graytrixianum has opened up. So yeah, that's got another one in the way there. That's all the paphs that I've got in bloom at the moment, and they do bloom for a long time. And yeah, thanks for all the compliments for the people who've left comments about the paphs. And somebody asked me, how do I get so many of them in bloom? And I think the answer is quite simple. I have a lot of them. So they don't necessarily always bloom every year. Could take a couple of years before they bloom again. This callosum, for instance, had flowered before 2 years ago, and now it's flowering again. So it can be a long wait in between blooms. This one flowered last year, this hybrid. Probably the hybrid's probably a bit easier generally, especially these primary hybrids. Graytrixianum is also a pretty easy one. So yeah, I think these are all pretty easy culture. Just grow generally well under household conditions, and I think the trick with paphs is the watering. Not too wet, not too dry, looking for the Goldilocks setting in the middle. Yeah, I think a lot of people overwater them. They really hate being in continuously wet, breaking down media. They like fresh media, so they can be repotted pretty frequently, every year, every 2 years, at the most every 3 years, depending on the species. And the medium in which they're potted is also very important, but they don't all like the same medium, I've found. Some of them do actually like to be in a bit of sphagnum moss type of mix, a combination. So this one here, for instance, that is a mix of sphagnum moss and some other stuff. and stays damp for a long time. And the other ones might prefer like this one. I'm not sure if that's in a transparent. No, it's not. But just in a standard. Actually, what I like is a bark mix with a bit of perlite or pumice. Actually, you can see that I've got that there, or even large pumice, or even small rocks. I don't personally like Leica very much because, in my experience, the salts, as the water evaporates, it has a very porous surface, and the salts build up on the surface of the Leica. But I'm not growing semi-hydro, so yeah, if you're growing semi-hydro, I know a lot of people like to use Leica, and they have ways of dealing with that, but yeah, it's not something that I use. So this one here is a multifloral paph. It's never bloomed, but I think it's looking very good now. I almost killed it a couple of years ago in the greenhouse. It was too hot in the summer, so I brought it into the house. You can see the root growth on it. Quite an attractive plant, even when it's not in bloom. But it's just a good example that, you know, a lot of people always saying, oh, you know, so lucky to have a greenhouse, but some plants just actually prefer to be grown in the house, and this is an example. So look, moving over to the left here, I've got some cotyledons and dendrochilums coming into bloom. This is the cotyledon, what's it called? Glandulosa. Yeah. That's just coming into bloom on 3 spikes. Beautiful plant. So I'll grow this one in the garden over summer for a couple of months. And yeah, for the rest I'd say it's kind of like intermediate growing. That's how I grow it. Keep it nice and damp, and this pot with the holes in it helps it prevent it from getting too breaking down too quickly. It gives a bit of extra airflow to the roots and stops the media from breaking down as quickly, which can be a problem. I've got a couple of dendrochilums here coming into bloom, and this one in the middle, that's something related to an African violet. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I repotted it and it's gone into beast mode, so very nice. Another one in bloom still, the Encyclia vitellina. It's been blooming for some time now, since I think start of January, something like that, so probably about a month. But yeah, really nice plant and a regular bloomer for me. And yeah, so here, just to prove that I have got some more paphs. Now this is a small part of the collection. So these ones here, mixture of different ones, but I've got, for instance, this one here is Dolgoldi. Dolgoldi is the hybrid of Rothschildianum and Armeniacum. Pretty well known one. Another one, Gloria Nagel, which is the hybrid of Rothschildianum and Micranthum. So that's Parvisepalum by Rothschildianum, basically, and they're pretty spectacular hybrids if you can get them to flower, but they're known for being difficult to get to flower. And this is another one, God's Lady, it's called. So that one I think is might be Leucochilum by Rothschildianum. This little one here is Helenae, yeah, tiny little miniature species. But yeah, this is just a small part of the collection. That's Drury there, little seedling. Yeah, so into the living room now, some more paphs. So we've got Paphiopedilum ransii here. There's 3 little plants in there. That's a very rare species. Hopefully it will stay alive. And next to it, Paphiopedilum intaniae, another very rare species. So these are both multiflora floral paphs, very large growing, very slow growing. So probably waiting for some years for them to get to flowering size. And up above here, more, these are all multifloral paphs, and they're mainly seedlings, hybrids, primary hybrids, that sort of thing. And I think this one is, what's that? That's Hainaldianum. This one, Ransii by Stott Hanover hybrid. This one is Prince Edward of York. On the right here, that's I think it's Gigantifolium by Rothschildianum or something like that. Forgotten. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this is Philippinense alba. Alba form of Philippinense, little juvenile plant. What else do we got? This one is Gemstones Ranschild, which is Ransii by Rothschildianum. Very spectacular primary hybrid of those two species. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, well this is a Phragmipedium caudatum, I think. Popovii, Varshevicii. So they're the ones with the very long petals. Hopefully it will do well. It's been a bit slow to get going. Couple more here. So these are the Lowii. This is Lowii, the standard colour form. It's growing really well. Prefers a little bit more shade than some of the other multiflorals, I'd say. So I tried to keep it out of the sun too much. Also likes good warmth during the summer months. So that one I put out into the greenhouse. And this one next to it I think is the alba form, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, alba form. Looks like it's doing pretty well as well. Not much, no sign of any roots there. If you have a look at this one, can see some roots in there, but they're kind of, they're mostly, yeah, it's a bit hard with one hand, but the roots can kind of go dormant in the winter, but should start, there's a growing tip on it there, yeah. Should start going again soon with the days getting longer, and they respond to that. So out into the greenhouse, take a look at all the paphs out here. So I keep the Pavisepalum paphs out here. I've got a lot of species and primary hybrids. So that one on the right there, that's Ho Chi Minh, I think. In the middle, Delenatii. Next to that is Linley Kopovitz. This one, Malapoense, the green, beautiful green flowered paph. Takes a very long time for the flower to grow before it opens up, about 6 months, something like that. And yeah, and a number of other Pavisepalums, hybrids, primary hybrids primarily. This one's a multifloral one, but a little bit of a cooler growing one. Wilhelmine from New Guinea, from sort of like highlands in New Guinea, around 1500 meters, something like that. So I think it's a bit cooler growing. So yeah, here we've got this one's Micranthum, I think. Yeah, Micranthum armeniacum. Those two have both flowered before, as has this one, Vietnamense. But yeah, after they flower, it can be a bit difficult to keep them going. So it was several years ago that these ones flowered, and yeah, I've had to experiment with a number of different approaches. It hasn't been that successful, but they seem to be doing a bit better in this setup now with the pots, the mix with sphagnum, and the pots with big airflow, basically hydroponic pots, I think they are. And yeah, I've got some more. So this one over here, which has got a bud on it, that is, I'll turn the label around, a squirrel eye, alba. Yeah, so yeah, it does look like the albiform flower looks like it's going to be a white flower, but that has also been in bud for a long time, but it is now filling up, getting ready to open up, so hopefully not too much longer to wait. And here I have still more paphs. So these are the last ones, I promise. But yeah, I got the Delenatii alba, Fairyarnum, these little seedlings. This one's Hermannii, primary hybrid that occurs in nature. Forgotten. No, Hermannii, what was it? Can't remember. Look it up. This one is Masters Yarnum, and I've got another plant there. This is also Masters Yarnum, supposedly, although apparently there's some doubt as to whether it's a species or a hybrid. Well, I guess I'll just have to wait until it opens up, and then I'll post the photo on Slipper Talk, and they'll tell me that it's a hybrid probably, but we shall see. Another Greytrix Yarnum, Coccineum, primary hybrid, another little Paphs sepulum hybrid, Gold Dollar, another hybrid, Viedens. This is my Venustum, which has just finished flowering. So yeah, all in all, quite a lot of paphs and a lot of seedlings, and but yeah, they're all growing pretty well. I do find the paphs to be pretty easy to grow these days. I've kind of learned how to grow them, try different things, especially different potting mixes, and I find that the Paphs sepulums, Delenatii and that type of species, they do very well with a bit of sphagnum in the mix. So that's, I can show this is a commercial mix which I use. Where is it? Yeah, this is the mix, and it's got sphagnum and some other stuff in it. So this is what I use for those ones that like more moisture retentive medium, and the less moisture retentive, it's I like to use this mix, which is bark and the very large pumice. I think that's kind of what I prefer at the moment. So you can see this is potted up in that and doing very well. Yeah, so that's my paphs. Probably talked enough about them. Yeah, if you've got any questions, please leave a comment below, and yeah, till next time. Bye.